Hey folks, Caleb Booker here with another free psychic reading. This time for someone that contacted me online who wants to remain anonymous. We're just going to call you A, if that works for you. So A's question had to do with the sensation of being followed, tracked by something dark. This can mean a lot of things. However, A, in your case, like I think I mentioned briefly in email, you are sort of being followed, but the things that are following you are just a sort of kind of like scavengers, spiritually speaking, that are just picking up what you're leaving behind. There's a lot of low frequency entities out there that's how they live. Just think of them like rats. Stop feeding them and they won't come around. So the key for you, A, is to shed these things, that they're not draining you all the time, is to reorganize yourself in a way that you're not feeding them. And in your particular case, you're feeding them by, what's the best way to put it? Well, just giving off a lot of negative energy. Couple of things I want to get straight with you right now. Your idea or your sense of self, this notion that you're bad, or that you're less than, or that you're crazy. All of these things are wrong. They're part of the illusion. They're part of the feedback mechanism that's keeping you where you are. I want to sort of reinforce and call your attention to something that's actually really key for you, A. You're getting that. You're experiencing a lot of depression right now on a clinical level, clinical depression, and one of the things that people don't talk about a lot with clinical depression is the fact that it has an addiction quality to it. There's a part of you that will crave depression, and that's just part of normal depression. That's part of how it works and sustains itself. So I want to sort of allow for the fact that you don't like it, and if it would go away, that'd be awesome. But think about the times in your life where you had the opportunity to feel better and you groped for or reached for mentally the opportunity to feel bad instead. That exists. So I'm only calling your attention to that because it's important for you to get an instinct on what's happening inside in order for you to puzzle it through. And so taking a little bit of ownership of what's happening. We also talked briefly in email about how this notion of things following you, dark entities following you, is a bit thrilling. And so to that end, you feed it. Now, you had a sense of something a little bit more intelligent and organized following you, a little bit more of a sophisticated dark energy. You didn't say that in email, but I got that sense. And I just want to say that is, again, part of the feedback mechanism. So in order for these impish little rat-like things to get something, they just sort of put up a mirror kind of sense, and then you project whatever you're going to find most satisfying that will keep you invested in sending them energy, sending your negative energy whenever you have it. So that involves fear and depression, self-loathing, all that good stuff. So your path forward, we talked a few things, but in this particular case, even though I could tell you a lot of things that help people through depression, the responsible thing for me to do as a psychic advisor at this point is to please don't go to anybody like me for advice. What you're experiencing is a clinical issue, medical issue. That's what depression is. And to that end, you need to go to a medical specialist to get it treated. So think of it that way, and talk to a therapist. So a couple of things. There's two kinds of therapists out there. There's therapists that'll help you work through things, and there's therapists that'll give you a prescription. Neither is better. Depending on who you are and where you're coming from and what's going on with you, the pill might get you over the hump. They might give you something that lets you take a break from your depression, and after a few months of not having to deal with it, you can let go of the pills and sort of see the world and say, hey, yeah, I can cope again. After everything's been sort of, all your chemistry has been realigned. So that can work. However, in your case, would strongly recommend looking for people who are more of an analyst on that level. People who will enable you to explore what's going on in here. So you're looking for a counselor, something on that level. Okay, it doesn't have to be, you know, some. So it doesn't have to be like it's difficult for me to help you find a good one, but I will say that it's something you want to hunt for. It's not something you look up in the yellow pages and just see whoever's listed under A. You know, you don't do that. Um, Look and see if you can find someone that makes sense. Ideally, someone who has written some articles or blog posts so that you can get a feel for where they're coming from. And so that they're not full of nonsense and not going to psychobabble you to death. And I know that, you know, from a spiritualist perspective, there's a lot of things I could suggest, including grounding, dietary changes, including getting rid of sugar, getting rid of carbs, which is a serious addiction and really hard to do. But you know, it really helps your biochemistry a lot especially if you're feeling depressed, because that stuff, that's horrible. Uh, Quitting porn, which again is another addiction and super, super tough. I'm not saying you're necessarily addicted, but it's definitely contributing to your depression. It's like another drug, you know, with the serotonin uptake and the whole, you know, endorphin thing. It screws with your biochemistry, makes it hard to be happy on a daily basis. There's a lot of little things you could do, but I am just some jackass on YouTube. What you really need is medical help, and I can't offer you medical advice. So all I can really do is tell you really sincerely to go see a therapist. I have recommended many people to therapists over the years. This is not something that would in any way be responsible of me to try and advise you on, apart from saying go see a professional. They're the ones to go to. One last word of caution, and this is a big deal. If you get a psychic who offers to a psychic or a witch or some other kind of spiritualist who says, yeah, you've been cursed or hexed, and it was this person in your life that did it, and if you pay me a few $1,000s, I'll lift the curse. Tell that person you want your money back and get out. They are a scammer. I am discovering these people everywhere lately. It's so weird, but it's happening a lot. So if you get someone who's telling you you're cursed and they can lift it with their magic powers, and it'll cost hundreds or thousands of dollars typically for them to do it, get out. That person's a liar, a scammer, a cheat. Get out. Therapists, they're awesome. They change lives every day. And normal people with normal problems go to them all the time. There's nothing wrong with you for going and getting yourself tuned up, just like a car. If a car has a problem, you go to a mechanic. If a brain or body has a problem, you go to a therapist. It's fine. So go get this thing handled, man. Because thing is, when I'm looking into your future, I see a lot of really awesome things, and I see you impacting lives in very, very positive ways. But that's on the other side of you taking some time to heal up, to get strong. So take care of yourself, man. And if you need anything else, if I can help you in any way on a spiritual level, then I'm here for you. That's it. If anybody else has any other questions, please leave a comment or go to the Facebook page at facebook.com/The Psychic Village. And see you all next time. Bye-bye.